How's it going? Today we're going to be doing something different. We are doing a collab video with Slai. We're doing a tier list for what we think are going to be popular picks for Ruler of the Waves 9, which is at tier 10. Part 1 is this video that you are currently watching. Part 2 is going to be on Slai's channel, so go ahead and check him out. If you haven't done so already, I don't know why you haven't, but enjoy the video.
Pigbay, how's your day going?
My day's going pretty good. Had a new job that I started today, new command. That went well so far.
Nice. Awesome. And if anyone wants to check out Pigbay's channel, link will be in the description below. Thank you all for stopping by on this. We had an awesome tier maker video going over kind of what we have thoughts of what's going to be the team setups, the evaluations, the usages of ships for Rulers of the Waves 9, which is going to be tier 10. So this is a pretty heavy tier. Like, do you think we're going to have any kind of upsets going on? Have you looked at the tier lists at all? Team lists, I should say.
Well, I have looked at what the Russians played. Just because the Russians played it doesn't mean that North America or any of the other regions are going to do the same. But the Hindi, them picking the Hindi kind of caught me off guard.
That was a very interesting pick, especially the amount of Venezias. I was kind of thinking they were going to choose more of the Moskva or something like that, but a lot of clutch Hindis. So we'll see how it goes. Now, how we're ranking this is going to be first pick, so these are going to be ships that we're going to want to bring first. Second pick, things we can sub in for, and then, of course, situational ships where they might, depending on how the meta is rolling out, be brought out in order to counter some kind of unique setup and everything. And then, of course, bench is the bench. So, I didn't apply a specific Goliath tier for everything, but, you know, who knows, we might add it in the middle of it all. So, shall we get into it, Pigbay?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Sweet. So, I'll go first. We'll go evens. Alexander Nevsky. What are your first thoughts when you think about this?
So I don't have that much experience with the Nevsky. I don't own it yet. I haven't played that many. I don't see that many around, honestly. It's just one of those things. That's going to be kind of your realm of knowledge, because I don't even know like fire capabilities, like the fire chances or anything like that. I don't know if it's a good fire starter. I don't know the range. If it has really good range and really good fire starting, I could see it. Think about Rule of the Waves 8. Oh, you know, when we had what was the Italian ship that came out at tier 7?
Duca. Duca
that's right. Yep. We saw a lot of Duca because it has range and fire starting capability. So, I mean, that's one thing to consider.
I would consider it. It's just unfortunately that 2-2 layout that it has for its turrets, you have to show a good broadside. And when you're dealing with this level of play, unfortunately, I'd probably only put it in bench. I wouldn't even put it situational, just because it's a very long ship. It's very light armor. It does have good fire starting capabilities, and its AP is actually pretty decent. But it's kind of that middle of the road ship, and I feel like, especially with Rulers of the 9 or Rulers of the Wave 8, we saw where a lot of it was nothing but extremes. It was nothing kind of just that basic, except for the battleships, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So Buffalo, what are your thoughts?
Unfortunately, it's kind of the jack of all trades. It has a good fire starting and good AP, but it has no support skills at all, and the shell arc just kind of sucks. So to me, it's a bench. I don't know, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm feeling bench as well. And not only that, you know, man, you know, we always talk about it not having a sonar or a radar or something. It's always brought up. I mean, I want some utility in this ship. Utility. But I agree with that, the bench as well. You know, I think we're going to see a lot of ships that are going to get picked because of utility.
Yeah, or, you know, just the extreme of its situation. So I think it's kind of just lackluster. Move on. Well, at least lackluster for this tournament. It's a good ship,
yes,
just not for this tournament. So, Colbert.
I do not own this ship as well. So, what I know is it can kill DDs really well. Good. I don't know about good fire chance. What are your thoughts on that one? Does it start fires pretty often?
No. It hits like 400 times and maybe you get 3 fires.
Rough one.
But that output, that DPM,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Well, see, and here's my thought process. I've always wanted to try this, but having a Colbert getting smoked up by a Gearing because it has that long-lasting smoke. But at the level that we're dealing with, smoke is not, guaranteed that you're not going to get hit. But I mean, it could happen. It could work.
Yeah, and
So,
actually, that's what we saw. It actually was a situational ship, in my opinion. If your team has it and it's a good player, it somehow works.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest it, but I guess.
If you can make it work, I mean, more power to you. But we'll see what people pick. I mean, they might pick it up.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we definitely will see out of it is it can keep up with DDs, and it can delete the DDs, especially when you're dealing with a Gearing. It can spot them, and it will rip them apart in 15-ish seconds or less, which that's really good to counter a Gearing, a Daring, a Z-52, any other DD. Is if you can do that, then that's a good way. But unfortunately, it's so easy to hit too, so you can get nuked. So, Conqueror.
Okay. Ooh. All right, Conqueror. I really wish that they were better, but I'm gonna say that's a bench. Honestly,
I'm gonna
go
agree
bench
with you.
on Conqueror.
I just don't think it has the DPM nor the healing armor combo.
Yeah, I mean, if they're running a legendary captain, the healing gets buffed. So, but I don't think that's gonna be enough to save it.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're going for a fire heavy team, that are getting damage controls, maybe that could work, but I'm gonna say bench because people are gonna be running Montanas and Yamatos.
Exactly. It's like the good ships are gonna wallop it, and it just doesn't have the armor to tank. It doesn't, and yeah, it can start fires, but still, we're still talking about really good captains with full level 12 commanders that have, they take less damage from fires, take less damage from floods, everything like that. So, but let's move on to a little bit of your sector, Daring. What do you think?
Daring's going to be a top pick. I expect to see. I mean, even Jervis was picked at tier 7, and remember how many times we saw people betting the farm on all those torps. You're going to see it again.
Yep.
Daring will be picked. And I think it's going to be because of utility. You're going to have that smoke to disengage and get away, and then you have that sonar to spot torps coming in at your team and helping your team out.
Oh yeah.
And quick firing guns to help hunt DDs. So I think it's going to be definitely a top pick.
I think also that maneuverability comes into play. You're just able to dodge torps left and right, and
Oh, yeah.
let alone also dodge long range fire. So you can stay alive a lot longer, and that shows how powerful the Daring is. And I do believe that Jervis is the Daring of tier 7. It's just a good, solid package. If you would agree, you are the DD man.
I do agree. Yes.
Cool. All right, on to the Des Moines.
Well, it has radar. I mean, I would say situational for Des Moines, honestly.
Yeah.
So it depends on what the team wants to do. Does the team want to kill the DD as quick as possible? So that's why you bring in the radar. Des Moines still a great cruiser, even bow tanking. Good fire chance, good AP, quick firing guns. I mean, yeah.
Decent.
I would say situational though. I'm not gonna say it's a first round or a second round pick. I would say situational.
I think especially with Kincaid in it, you can do some hilarious stuff in it. So
Oh yeah.
you can make it work, but I really wouldn't suggest it. So love it in regular games. So, but Gearing.
Ooh, well, for Gearing, it kind of depends, in my opinion. Are they running the legendary mod? Because I think the legendary mod definitely makes it more viable with the quicker torps. So all it does is increase the reload of the torps by like 2 seconds. where you're getting an extra kilometer of range and an extra 5 knots of speed on your torps, which makes the gearing honestly more viable in general. It has that smoke too, long-lasting smoke. So if you want to smoke up your allies or just disengage with smoke, you're going to leave this giant cloud for like 35 seconds. I would also put it. I want to put it in second, but it's like hard for me.
I think I'm gonna put it in second.
I'll put it in second.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put it in second.
You're trying to fix it with something for what, $15-20 that not everyone's gonna have, and you can run a arguably better ship with the daring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's a few other DDs that I'm betting you'd suggest before that. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I'm gonna take the next two because I think this will be pretty quick. The Grosser Kerfers, it's got to be a bench. It's just there's not gonna be brawling in this. It's gonna be a lot of long range.
As much I would love to see some brawling, as much as that'd be awesome, we're not gonna see it.
No,
it's gonna be a snipey kind of game.
Yep. Goliath, of course, that's bench. It just doesn't have anything going for it.
You're gonna tell me you're not gonna play the Goliath? No way.
No way. Oh man. Let's get back to a few DDs that I'll let you take from here. Grozavoy.
Ooh, that's a hard bench.
Hard bench. Okay.
Yeah. Hard bench. Not even. Oh wait, I have that. I have my bench stack all the way over there. Yep. Yeah, Grozavoy, no. Benching that.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. That's just the Utiloy is just straight up better. It needs a decent amount of buffs, though.
Yeah. And there's, like, if you want a gunboat DD, there's other gunboat DDs that are better at it,
Oh, yeah. But kind of an interesting one, and I kind of want to see how you put this. Holland.
Okay, so Holland, I want to... Personally, I wouldn't play it. I would bench it, but it has that radar, that sweet radar, which is utility. And I've said it before, but utility wins games.
Yeah.
So I would put it as situational, but very close to being benched.
I would argue situational as well. I would too.
Like if it didn't have radar, I would bench it. Personally, I do not like the Holland at all. I don't enjoy it. I've enjoyed the Tier 9, the Osceolan, a lot more. But Holland, if it didn't have radar, bench for sure.
Yeah, I could definitely see where the torps could come into play, kind of a nicety, but I think because of the amount of smoke and also the certain cruisers I have a feeling coming in, the Holland just takes way too much damage and is going to absolutely get hit. But you might see him.
You might.
Good. So, Harugumo.
Hard bench.
Yeah, pretty much.
No maneuverability. I mean, if you're going to be playing the Haruguma and not firing guns, I mean, then what's the point of playing Haruguma? Yeah. So, hard bench on that one.
Yep. Hayate.
Okay, Hayate. I like the Hayate. As weird as it is, I do like it. I would say bench. As much as I don't like saying it, I would say bench. If you want long range Shima torps, just play a Shima. The torps are exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. It's just it's a hybrid of two ships that I think actually in a competitive meta at this level of skill, it's just clearly not gonna work. It's just not. It's just that it's not how it's gonna work. You're gonna have people moving constantly. As much as we kind of talked about this being always a slugfest, you have to remember this, or a turtle fest sometimes. It might run into the situation where everyone's just moving so much so you can't commit that amount of torps, and that destroys your damage capabilities as a Shima or as a Hayate. So,
yeah, I agree. I do love that ship though.
Oh, I know. I love it too. I kind of like it. It's kind of fun when I played it, but I suck at torp boats, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guns are good. The guns are pretty good.
Okay, I suck at gunboats too, unless they're Russian. All right, Henry IV. I'm going to take this one. Unfortunately, it's a bench. It just doesn't have the survivability to take on the level of play that this is at. If I don't know exactly what it would want it to buff, but its guns can do a crap ton of damage. It's just, as you said, it's like utility is going to win this game in certain places. So
Yeah, I would agree with that one.
Yep. Looks like I've got a few Hindenburg. This was actually something that, in my opinion, when you remove the carriers and you remove a lot of counters to it, there's still a counter in there with it, but it at least can compete, and it can absolutely wreck destroyers at any range within that area, and it has torps. You have to think about that, plus a little utility. I'd actually put it in first, just because you are dealing with that level of play. Yeah.
Well, and then we also saw that, the Russians, they ended up picking the Hindi.
Yep.
And that's why I think, pairing some of these radar destroyers might actually work.
That is true.
But, yeah, I'll agree with that one. With no carriers, it's definitely a better ship to play.
Yeah, and I think also what helps is that when you're just going up against, because of course the battleships are going to be slugging. They're just straight up. They're going to be full on slugging each other most of the match, unless they have a prioritized target and everything like that on the enemy team. So you're literally just dealing with cruisers, and the Hindenburg actually isn't a bad cruiser, like even heavy cruiser hunter.
Yeah.
So having this for DDs and having this as backup, it can work. So
yeah.
Khabarovsk.
Bench. Hard bench.
If only the Kiev and Udaloy were at tier 10.
Honestly, I sold my Kiev. I didn't like it.
How dare you?
I didn't like. Not a fan.
I don't blame you though. I don't blame you. So, and I think we just have to join in on the bench, but the Kremlin.
I rebought the Silvesky series to try to get the Kremlin because I hate myself.
How's the grind going there?
Not good. Not fun at all. I hate the Silvesky, but I'm going to do it because I hate myself.
Yeah. I tried the Kremlin. I think it's in a better spot, but I think there needs to be some changes to that entire line to make it really good, because in reality it's got good AA, it's got a lot of solid health, and if you have the good legendary commander for it, it's really not bad. It's just not good.
Yeah. I mean, the problem I have with the Silvesky is its pen. I feel like it doesn't pen as much as it should. Up and down that line, I loved every ship up until the tier 9. Like Vladivostok, I loved. I'm curious with the Kremlin. I don't own it yet, but like how the pen acts, because the guns are bigger, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it pens, so I can't give an accurate representation for that.
From what I know, it's a pretty good penning machine. It's just that reload kills it. It's just when you have a Yamato that's got the same size guns that shoots faster and is kind of more accurate.
Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, I would place it on the bench as well. There's better picks out there for battleships, and
yep. So Minotaur, I'll take this one. I'm actually gonna argue situational. At this level of I hate it. I love the Minnow. At this level of play, you get spotted. Even if you fire and smoke, you are going to be found and put to pasture. This isn't the regular games. This is very good players, and you could argue it with the utility that it does have. Its anti-DD capabilities and its torpedoes is amazing, but it's just too high risk, too high reward for that level of play.
And you placed it in situational? Or?
Yeah. I don't think it's a second round pick, unfortunately. I love it to death. But would you argue second?
I think I would argue second.
Okay, honestly. Let's hear it.
All right. So you got quick firing guns. Obviously, if you're hunting DDs, it's one of the best out there. You have your sonar to help spot torps for whenever whatever DD you're daring is running sonar, his goes down. Now you still have a second sonar there to help protect your battleships. I don't see it as a pushing machine. You're not going to push in, and think that your smoke's going to protect you. But I could see it smoking up a group of ships, if you're doing your turtle strat.
Which then that would put it in situational for me, because it's like you have to be doing that hard turtle because you'd be using BD to the extreme, which would be a smart idea, but then again, you're still dealing with people who know how to shoot in smoke.
Yeah, but if you're smoking up a group of targets, there's going to be like six ships shooting at you, and where are you going to shoot in this giant cloud of smoke,
Not wrong. I can admit that, but yeah.
I don't know. I love that ship too much. It's my favorite cruiser. My favorite textured cruiser.
You know what?
Tier 10.
I'll agree with you, actually. It could be a second round pick. It's just I really would put it more situational depending on your strat.
Okay.
So I think that
we can see who wins this little bet.
Yeah.
If it's picked more often than not,
Yeah, we will definitely have to see. But the Monty, what's your thoughts?
I'm gonna say that's. Oof. Man, I think it's a first or. That might be a second. I mean, there's Yamis, there's Vermonts out there. I mean, granted though, the Vermont isn't gonna have a faster reload though, so.
And the Vermont did get nerfed, and the Montana got buffed.
Yeah, you are correct.
And the volume of fire, it can technically do anti-DD duties if it needs to.
Mm-hmm. It could, yeah.
But it's not
even
not tanky.
8. Yeah. I'd put it on second. I'll put it as a second pick. I'll give it a second.
I'd agree with that. That is definitely one ship that it's just not enough. And I really actually wish it had rapid reload too, at the very least.
Yeah.
And AA3.
Not a bad ship.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing with Ruler of the Waves. AA doesn't matter, and the AA is really good on it. And that's why a lot of people end up playing it at tier 10 in random battles.
Yep.
But this is random battles.
No.
So that's why I think it falls under second.
I just want to drop it in there to see if they add it,
Wait, you want them to add carriers to this?
No, I want them to add AA buff to Montana. I want every ship to have AA buff at tier 10, just so the carriers can deal with it.
It's part 1 for the Ruler of the Waves 9 tier list with me and Slai. Go ahead and pop over to his channel, check out the second one. That's going to do it for this one. Until next time.